You're about to listen to Death by Vanilla, a conversation with cringy consequences.
Hey, what'd you do that for?
Well, what's that?
Oh, give me that. What'd you do that for? What'd you do that for? Hey, what'd you do that for? What'd you do that for? What'd you do that for?
Well, what's that?
Oh, give me that. What'd you do that for?
Vanilla.
Just what I was fixing to do.
Hello, everybody. My name is Timothy Schreiber. Welcome back to Death by Vanilla, a show where we talk about our feelings.
No, it's a shoe where...
Shoe.
It's not a shoe. A show where two out-of-touch white men try to navigate a conversation without stepping on a landmine of cringe. I'm your host, Caleb Schreiber.
And I'm your host, Timothy Schreiber.
That's right.
If this podcast was a shoe, do you know what it would be?
Would it be a
Nike
Stranger
Air Force
Things?
One. No, a Nike Air Force One.
Why? What about us gives off any kind of Nike vibes?
Basic vibes is what I'm going for here.
Oh, you're just saying we're basic? That's
it? I've thought about buying a pair of Nike Air Force Ones before, and I stopped myself because I was like, no.
Why?
And then so that's what I said.
I almost bought one too, but explain to me your reason.
I just feel like it's overdone. It's just too overdone. It's like, that's a classic shoe with a classic stereotype now.
Yes, it is.
And like, if I wore it, it wouldn't, like, I don't know. I'd just be doing it to hop on the trend. I feel like there's better shoes out there that could be worn and nobody's looking at them.
Tim, why do people still ride Lamborghinis?
I don't know.
There's Teslas out there.
Here's a hot take. I think that every Italian sports car, massively overrated.
Why?
Lamborghinis, Bugattis, McLarens. I think McLaren is
Yeah, you're right. Why do you think they're overrated? Why?
Because they're just kind of like so you get them shipped from Italy. Mm-hmm. Okay. So that, and it's already expensive to do that and buy the car at all.
That's right.
And then if anything happens to your car, which you can't touch your car, you can do no maintenance to your car. Mm-hmm. And then if something happens to your car, it costs you like thousands of dollars.
Well, that's not true. There's definitely places where you can go to get it worked on and specialists who...
But you will be charged thousands of dollars for it.
Yes, absolutely.
Because it's a sports car. And I think what is a cooler car to me is the ones that you make yourself. So you get a car. No. You get a car that has like a really good engine, a really good frame, and you just soup it up and you make it look like a sports car. And you're like, that's cooler to me. I would rather want to drive one of those, like a BMW that's like modded out.
Okay. All right. No, I understand the modding out just because you want to have your hand in the situation, right?
Yes.
Okay. No, that makes perfect sense. I still don't think that takes away from Italian cars.
I just think they're overrated.
They're good for a reason.
But they're overrated.
They're like Marvel movies. Mm-hmm. There are some that suck. They've been around for a long time.
Yeah.
They're trying to do new things when they shouldn't.
No, they just
stick to their own thing, but they're trying, and that's bad. Does not make them not good, though.
I just wouldn't feel good owning a Lamborghini. Because whenever I think of somebody, a Lamborghini owner, I think of a kid who has a poster in his room with a model against a Lamborghini. And then I also think of like this rich dude who doesn't know anything about cars or anything like that, and he just buys a Lamborghini because it's a name brand thing.
Yeah. A couple things. Very biased. You are.
Mm-hmm. Very biased, I am.
One, you're broke.
It's true.
Two, you can't drive yet.
I can drive with a 21-year-old, yes.
You can drive with other people's permission. You have to be a simp. You have to be like, yeah, can you take me out driving? Three, you own a Toyota Prius.
Which is the pinnacle.
I said that just because I just wanted to give that to you. Tim, what do you own?
A Toyota Prius.
You own a Toyota Prius.
2008 four-door SL hatchback.
Congratulations.
Oh, it's a beautiful car.
I'm so happy for you and your Toyota Prius.
52 miles per gallon,
If you own a Toyota Prius, then there's no way.
No, then you are a classic boy who gets all of everything he wants because he has money, because he doesn't waste it on gas.
You live in your parents' house.
And I drive a Toyota Prius, so I'm saving money on gas and insurance. What do? You crash your cars, you get the insurance money, and then you buy the next best Toyota or a Nissan that's broken down that has thousands of electrical problems.
You don't need to get personal like that. See, what I'm saying
I'm
is
a sensible Prius owner.
I understand. What I'm saying is you, by buying a Toyota Prius, have put yourself in a class that will never buy a Lambo.
I have, actually, because the reason why I learned that I do not like Lamborghinis, okay, I would love to drive one. Do not get me wrong there. I think it would be fun to drive, right? They also get picked up more from police.
Lamborghinis do. Have you ever seen a Lamborghini pulled over?
No.
No.
Because you know why? We live in Pennsylvania. Nobody's driving a Lambo in Pennsylvania.
I see a lot of Teslas around here.
Yeah, Teslas, because they're cheaper now. But so the point is, you watch like any like Lambo owners or something like that, and they'll have like a GoPro, and you can watch countless videos of people who have Lamborghinis getting pulled over.
Why?
Because a lot of the times they are suspected of speeding. It's always the officer always goes, "You were speeding," and you're like, "No, I'm not." They want to pick you up because they know that you can go fast.
All right, Tim, right here in front of the camera, right here, right now.
Yeah.
We need to place bets in front of the people, in front of God.
Yeah.
We need to place bets on when our brother, who now owns a Dodge Charger, how long it's going to take for him to get pulled over. How long before he comes home with a speeding ticket? And we'll have him on to say this.
I'm going to give him... So he's going into med school. Well, he's going into nursing
He's taking
school.
courses.
No, he's going to college for it.
He's taking courses.
College courses. You took an online school. You dropped out. So,
which is how I know the difference. I'm just saying that's a whole different side tangent. Hot take. If you take a course, you didn't go to college. Stop trying to say that you went to college.
Yeah, he's not. I don't think he's going to. He might be going to a physical building. I'm not sure.
He probably is going to a physical building.
Courses, though.
Yeah, but he didn't go to college.
Nursing school.
Yes.
So, anyway, he's going there and he's doing quizzes that are going to be keeping him up all night.
Okay.
I think I would give it 2 months.
2 months?
Before he loses his mind and he wants to speed on the highway.
I say definitely. Okay, so your bet would place it before the summer. I think it's going to happen sometime between June and August.
Yeah.
I think he's going to get pulled over.
I think he's going to get
Oh,
his
so you
girlfriend
agree
in the
with
car.
me?
I do agree with that, yeah.
But you can't agree with me because then the bet doesn't work. We'll make him pay us. Except for he's going to be broke
because he's owning a Dodge Charger.
He owns a Dodge Charger, which sucks up all of his money.
But it's an amazing car, don't get me wrong. It's just
kinda
you
nice.
need more money before you...
It's kind of nice.
It's a good car.
Yeah.
You're just mad because you own a Toyota
No, I'm not mad.
Tacoma. Is it Tacoma or Optima? Or
Toyota Camry.
That's a Kia. What am I talking about, bro? What am I saying?
I don't know.
Continue.
It's okay. I don't care. I'm not a big car person, so I don't care.
Okay.
So I think the only reason why I'm upset is because I realize the difference between us in the fact that he's still a young bachelor who has a girlfriend and he wants to be big and flashy. And I'm like a man who has a wife and is trying to live like a suburban life, and I just want a casual car.
You're trying to live the 1960s American dream.
Well, and to me, the car that I have now is the car that I have always envisioned myself being in. Straight black, leather interior, like kind of up to date electronics. Like it's fine. And to me, it's an amazing car. The car that I have is an amazing car.
It's an amazing car.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. But you need to see where this dude is coming from.
And I am, and I have, and that's what I'm saying.
No.
It's a good car for him, where he's at.
He just came off of a car that was driven
Ford
by...
Focus.
That was driven by high schoolers who bought their grandma's car.
Yeah.
And he drove it, had a ton of problems with it, and he put beforehand, because he knows himself, because he knows he likes to go fast. So he knows he likes to go fast. Okay, he put a limiter on his speedometer. So now he's an idiot, and he bought a fast car, and he's fully aware that he's going to rip in that thing.
Oh, absolutely.
So
it has.
So
sorry,
now,
Mom.
Dude, do you know how many times he mentioned to me that, like, he was like, I just wish this thing could go faster. I wish I wouldn't put the limiter on it. And then he bought himself a Dodge Charger, and I went, he's going to go fast.
Yeah, he
But now I
is.
can't because of the gas prices.
Yeah, he held himself back for so long. There's no way that he can't go fast.
He's ripping.
I'm going to, unfortunately, and maybe this is fortunate for your sake. There's 2 lanes that you can drive in traffic.
I'm going the left lane.
There is the lane.
Right lane, sorry.
There's
Right
the lane that
'cause left
Josh
lane
is in
fast.
with the nice cars that go
left
fast.
Lane, left lane, right lane.
And then there's the lane that I'm in where it's like it's economic and good for me for where I'm at.
How many miles per gallon?
You
do get?
have joined
How many miles per gallon do you get?
40.
40. I get 52 because I'm cracked, and that's the low end. Okay.
I know. I've seen your car get up to 100. Do you know how much a car usually gets to the gallon?
20.
Yep.
20. Yeah.
Yeah. I have like some kind of like economic saver that helps with my gas tank.
Yeah, it's eco,
so it helps. What I'm saying is you're in my lane of practical
Practicality.
car.
Yeah.
Yeah. He doesn't have a practical car, and he will tell you that himself.
Which is-
Lamborghinis are not a practical car.
No, they're a fun car.
You've joined my lane
But
early, I might add.
would you like to know why this practicality is a problem?
Oh, yeah. I actually would like to hear that, actually.
Yeah. So I have a problem, and that's the fact that I want a non-practical car as well that I can work on and get dirty with. And that dirtiness is a fast car like the Mazda Miata.
Oh.
The Mazda Miata is an affordable option, beautiful car. You can modify the crap out of it, and it's like decently fast, but it's also a shift. I want it as a sidecar.
Saying that you want a Mazda is like saying that you want a Motorola phone. Like, no one thinks about it,
No.
but it kind of slaps.
Have you seen Mazda Miata? So
Yes, I have.
The only reason why is because they got super hyped up on TikTok because people would like mod them out or something like that, and because like people love them, and so I found them and I was like, that makes sense. That makes sense. Let me show you.
They're beautiful.
Yeah, there we go. They got the flip up headlights,
Yeah, I like them.
manual.
Absolutely. No, I agree. Here's where I'm going to give you some recognition. I'm going to feel like an old sage in this. Wait until you get married. Have one person have a practical car,
And then
the other person have the nice car. That's kind of like what we have in our instance, except for our nice car is my practical car. She has an SUV. My wife has the SUV. I have my Toyota Camry.
Yeah.
One so we can go camping and we can haul things places and we can take things to the dump. The other car so that we can get good gas mileage and we can just cruise.
But still, this SUV is still a practicality thing. It's still practical because it's it does the jobs that you need it to do.
It's cool.
I'm looking for a car. Like this is a 2-seat. Like whenever Joshua was actually looking for a car, he was looking for this like old like 1990 Honda that he found at a dealer. I went to a dealer with him. It was like a 2-seater, and then he kept looking at 2-seater cars like that were like sports cars. I'm like, dude, what are you doing? Because he wanted a fast car, and like the other one, like the Honda that we looked at, was like really really broken, but. It was a cool car, but that is a car that you get after you already have a car that can run you to your job without you getting a speeding ticket.
Right. Tim, I have a hot take.
Hot take. Let's hear it.
I think movie theaters are different now and I don't like it.
Why?
There's something missing. I really don't know what it is. And maybe we can work that out here. Movie theaters are way different since COVID. Since they closed down. Like there's no restrictions. Where we're at, just for preface, where we're at right now, there's no restrictions, essentially. So you can go to the movie theater. It's the same. You walk in, you buy the ticket.
Buy your popcorn.
You can buy your
food.
popcorn. You can go in. It still doesn't feel the same. Do you?
I get the off vibes too.
Yeah.
It feels like unless it's a Marvel movie, you're never gonna have a bunch of people going in.
Is it the people? Because like every time that I have gone in, there's like 10 people. And it used to be the movie theater was the place.
That was the spot.
Yeah.
But now people have figured out different ways to consume entertainment. So they bought themselves nice TVs and whatnot, subscriptions to Hulu, subscriptions to whatever service they can get. And so now, why would you go to a theater whenever you have a big screen?
That's
you
true.
have your different streaming services.
COVID made us have
Stimmy checks.
streaming services. I have always enjoyed film and the experience of seeing it in the
And
cinema.
that's why a theater is for the people who enjoy film, which I do. It's so
to be
love
honest,
to me.
now that I'm thinking about it, I think it's more of the smaller things. Okay, one, we've all done it. We're all guilty of it. We all do it. You will do it or have done it. We don't get the pay stubs anymore. The movie tickets. The movie tickets is a small part of the experience, but it's always something that I've really latched onto.
You can frame them. You can do whatever
People
you want
put them in like little jars and they're like, this is every movie that I've been to
Yeah.
since I was a kid. You can't do that anymore because it's all arranged seating.
Do you know what's crazy?
Huh.
Chuck E. Cheese
Yeah.
just got rid of their ticket system along with their tokens.
Are you serious?
By doing that,
Oh, it's done.
they have ruined it all.
Yeah, absolutely.
Ruined it all. Because what stops me from going to like just online and doing it? Because now the experience of just searching for tokens anywhere you can, looking under the machines, searching for as many. You hold a physical ticket in your hand and you can hold physically a giant like, reel of them. And you're like,
700 tickets. You're like,
I want that
This is my Lego set that I'm buying.
this is it.
Yeah.
And you have it in your hands, you have all the tickets, and you're feeding them into the machine to get that receipt to give to the cashier, and you know that you have enough tickets. And if you're one short, you like
It
find,
teaches
like,
kids how to save and be like, hey, the next time we come here, I can buy something
keep
bigger.
tickets, keep tokens.
It teaches you how to be economic with how many tokens you have.
Yep.
Conserve what you have.
You get a cup full of tokens. Your,
Yep.
friend, your mom or dad gives you a cup full of tokens, and they're like, all right, that's as many tokens as you're getting. And you go out and you'll even keep a token because they're cool. And like you just put them in the machines and you're like, shoot, I got 4 left.
Yep.
I need to spend this wisely. Whereas the cards, like what round one has,
Yep.
it's gone. You just go swipe. Oh, I feel like I paid actual money for this.
Yep.
And it just feels like you're swiping your card, your own debit card.
Yep. It's not escapism anymore. It feels real. It's not tangible. You can't feel things in your hand. It's all digital. Timothy, how much like boomers are we sounding though?
I don't think.
That's a very boomer thing to do though.
Do you want to know why?
Why? What is the difference between
So-
what we're saying right now?
The reason why we think that's a boomer thing is because that's what boomers. The boomers grew up and they complain about the stuff that they used to have because that stuff was better. Now we are experiencing our better being taken away from us.
I would
they
say
were.
it's the same exact thing. I would say to most people, having a card where your tickets that you cannot lose or rip or tear or get stolen from you, and your tokens all on the same card is so practical. But I'm saying I think you just lose something in changing the medium.
See, this is what I'm saying. So now we're gonna have a new generation growing up with these cards for Chuck E. Cheese, or just no Chuck E. Cheese at all, and they might have something better alternatively. We grew up with those tokens and those tickets, so to us, that's what we grew up on, and we love those experiences of like. If you were like getting tickets from a machine and it was done coming out, but you saw like half your ticket, you would carefully take it out so you didn't rip it and like try and like force more out as much as you could.
Yeah.
And to us, that was what we grew up on. Now it's being taken away from us and we're like, that was better. What happened to it? That's nostalgia
Dude,
kicking.
give it 40 years.
It'll be back.
No, it will not be back. You're gonna trade NFTs. I'm not even kidding. I'm not even kidding right now. It will be NFTs that you take to the arcade. You just trade NFTs.
It's a sad reality. I don't think that will happen. No, because
It's
what kid
going there.
is going to be like, all right, take a look at my monkey with headphones on. Boop, boop. I get to play.
I
doodle
don't know
jump.
what to tell you.
I get to play doodle
but
jump.
that's exactly where it's happening. And I think you're going to, I want to mark that this is going to be a day of just marking history right now, a time capsule. You are going to, at some point in time, to your grandchildren go, I remember when I was a kid, we used to have physical tickets in our hands. And now you guys just have the digital thing. It's not the same.
Because it's not.
I have more of an appreciation for old people. Because I hear the things that I'm saying,
And
especially
you know exactly what they're coming from.
I know that not only is that the same thing, but that I'm going to do it.
Hot take. Let's talk about full circle. Okay. With going with that, where have we ended up in the fashion industry, in the music industry, in the hip hop industry, and the everything like that, in pop culture now? We're going full circle. Okay. We got like people are bringing back. Do you know who Led Zeppelin was?
Yes. Oh yeah.
That music style is coming back.
Oh, rock. Yeah.
As its own thing. You know, rock. It's a classical rock. People are listening to more like 80s-ish sound. Like people make
80s vibe has been a thing for a very long time. Yeah.
It came back in more recently in 2020 or 2018. And then like same thing with clothing.
It was weird because we were in a circle because it started with 70s stuff. So like in like probably 2017, 18, people started going towards 70s. And then it started shifting towards like 19 and 20. We moved towards 80s kinds of like music. And then now we're like in the 90s.
90s.
Again.
Yep. Sometimes even 60s with like old, I don't know, just old like kind of forms of it.
Yeah, it's weird. It's weird how it's evolving. But get to your, like, what is the hot take? What are you saying?
Hot take. I think we're not going to have as much of that because the stuff.
You think we're almost past the point where it's just
that's not going to be a thing. Yeah. I think because there's going to be nothing tangible like that for our generation because what happens when all of our generation is, our style and everything is just 80s. We don't make anything new. All we have is joggers and sweatshirts. And you trade up for something more like whitewashed jeans or bell-bottom jeans or something like that. Something that you saw in the 80s. Or Converse or something like that. And they slapped back in the day and they're slapping even harder now as well. But we didn't make anything new.
I'm gonna push back on your hot take.
Hot take.
I'm gonna cool down your hot
Okay.
take. I think only certain things, and I wish that. And here's the thing. Okay, I'm gonna say this first. I think hot takes are just overgeneralizations, where you're just like, this is how I feel about a thing, so all things are gonna be that, and it's like a challenge. I think that's exactly what hot takes are. So this isn't gonna sound as fun or entertaining, but I think it's true. I think you're only gonna get that with certain aspect of stuff. I think technology, you're never gonna have a backwards in technology. Never, ever, ever. Fashion will always be a backtick. It's always going to come back.
Style, like hairstyles, anything like that. Full circle.
Yes. And it's all predicated on nostalgia. And something new is birthed out of that vision from your childhood. So like somebody, say in 15, 20 years from now, there's going to be a person who is younger than you who's going to be in the fashion industry. And they're going to be like, I remember whenever these people wore like 80s clothing from like the 1980s, but that's so long ago. I have this new idea for a thing. And then they'll start that thing and it's a brand new thing. It's always a new thing. Joggers have only existed for like 20 years. And they're kind of out again, but those have never existed before.
No.
They came from something else, and I think it's going to continue.
We went from the 1920s wearing suits everywhere to now wearing basically pajamas everywhere.
And I think we also have too narrow of a view of what popularity looks like, because we're just talking about what's happening this year. Like this year, what's popular this year. History's not going to look at that. This is getting way too deep.
Oh, yeah, it is.
But I think history's going to have a broader view and be like,
It's a hot take.
Between 2020, between 2000 and 2020, they invented the joggers.
Yeah.
Everything else is going to fall away. Nothing matters.
Joggers, staple.
Except for the new stuff. I think the new stuff will stick.
I'm going to disagree with you on the technology bit.
Okay. Do you think we're gonna?
I think so. I think out of nostalgia purposes, we'll go back to some. I think they will probably find somehow a more efficient. Like, I mean, let's take a look. Like, people put filters to have or use
to look like film cameras.
Yeah, or to have like lenses.
Wow.
I think it's gonna be the same thing where they cherry pick. They're like, that was cool. That was aesthetic. Whatever is aesthetic for the time, and they're gonna throw it on.
Well, I mean, people are filming with film cameras. That's a thing that's really popular right now. So, and
filming with
that's
vintage
not
cameras.
taking a little thing. They're buying old vintage cameras and vintage lenses, and they're filming on film as a hobby. In most movies, I don't know if you know this, most movies are still filmed on film. A lot are digital, but most are filmed on film.
Blair Witch Project.
Yep.
Have you seen it?
Yeah.
They used old like home video cameras,
Yes.
and it was.
It's a great idea.
Yeah.
It gives it a grounded feel. All right. I mean, that's some good pushback.
I think it's not going to be again as drastic. We're not going to adopt and into our lifestyle like wires again.
Yeah, like we're not gonna have 8-track players in our cars ever again. We're never gonna have record players.
Nobody's gonna want to walk around with like a Walkman instead of like Spotify.
We're never gonna have classic jukeboxes
No.
in restaurants to play the overhead music. That's not ever gonna happen
Unless somebody like something is specifically.
That's gonna be the difference between a fad
Yeah.
and a trend. When a fad and a trend, I feel like are the same thing. Fad and trend, and what else? A staple of the generation? I don't know.
We haven't made that category yet. I think that I think that we're gonna find that we are gonna have a hard time getting out of the same jobs though that we repeat on. Like, we're gonna have new technology to do certain jobs that could, and this is why it's actually like it's crazy because our generation could sneak into that right now.
Oh, absolutely.
If we wanted to. If you just didn't listen to your parents saying you need to become a nurse, you need to become an engineer, you need to become whatever. We need to sneak in our own kind of careers.
I agree.
And make our own, because the technology given to us now is completely different to what our parents had 20 years ago.
I agree. You can sit in a room and make more money than somebody who has like a bachelor's degree.
Somebody who has a 9 to 5 is making less than somebody who
Honestly, if we grinded on this podcast and we just did this, I think we would do pretty well.
Yeah. It's crazy how much content creators make. You look at a smaller channel with 100,000 subscribers. Let's say that's like a smaller channel. They still make crazy money. Some of those YouTubers are quitting their jobs
That's right.
because they're making so much money. And like, or even just the dudes who sit in the room stalking the stock market.
Yeah.
And they just buy and sell. Boom. You made what you would have made in a year. You made $40,000.
Yep.
It's crazy. And
Guess what? You have that year to set aside and do anything else that
Anything you
also
want.
could make more money.
But would you like to know what
But why aren't we doing it?
Because
You and I right now. Why aren't we doing it?
Because it's the same reason. Because we look at the other people who have not made the
think so.
job for us. Because in our minds, it's so much effort. Because it's a lot of work. You're making a new field, which you're going to be criticized for.
I'm going to hate saying this because I literally, whenever I was on my way to pick you up to bring you to the studio, I was listening to Gary Vee. And he was doing a podcast on Flagrant 2 with Andrew Schultz and Akash Singhs, who are comedians. They were talking. He said the thing that drives this culture right now, the thing that holds us back from doing like the things that he's doing or becoming like really successful is fear. Is being
Absolutely.
afraid, whether that's being afraid that things are not going to go well, being afraid that that's not what you want to do in the long run, being afraid that that it's not like whatever we're being run by fear.
Yeah.
I think there's a little bit of truth to that. I think it's an
Absolutely.
overgeneralization, but I think it's definitely true.
If you have parents that, unfortunately, we haven't had this issue, but if you have parents that are super strict about what career path they're going to be choosing, if you're going to college right after high school or whatever, and you have no idea what you're doing. I talk to countless kids my age, and they're constantly saying, "Yeah, I'm going to go to college." I'm like, "For what?" They're like, "Don't really know. I just know I need to go to college." And I'm like,
How do you know that?
"But why do you need that?"
Yeah, why?
My plan. Do you know what my plan is?
What?
I just kind of like smoothed over some of this, but and of course this.
I've known
open
most
to
of your
change.
play. Is it still going to be with van life?
Kind of.
Okay, go into it.
So I thought about it. I'm like, any job that I thought about, any career path that I took, I was like, that's too limiting. I don't want to be so limited. Barbering, really cool. Really
Amazing.
cool. Really limiting though. You're doing the same thing.
You're not going to go with barbering. You'd be
No, I am. So here's what I'm gonna do. So I'm gonna
a
after.
virtual barber. He's going to sell NFTs of his hair.
So I'm gonna hopefully this is what's gonna happen. This is open to change, subject to change.
Always.
Out of high school, hopefully save up for a van. Out of high school, go to Pittsburgh for a class there for the barber school because that's the closest barber school.
Get your barber license.
2 years barber's license. It's not even that expensive. It's like $3,000 to go through 2 years of it.
Nice.
And then after that, I'll still have my van, so I can. So during whenever I'm going to school, I can just stay in my van there, not have to pay any like rent for anywhere, and also weekends or whatever, be at home still
Nice.
if I need to. So live out of my van, and then hopefully after that, after I cut hair for a while, I go for a business or whatever, and then I go to college. Whether that be community college or something else. I go to college for 4 years to get a degree in business. So
Okay.
I can either, so I have something to either make my own business in barbering. So it's constantly reaching for a goal. So I can either make my own business in barbering or something else if I would like to. Or if I don't end up not liking barbering, it's only took 2 years, I can just open up like my own business and whatever I want, or work for a company that already has one set. And then so that way, literally I have like a plan B, but also like I can constantly work for something. So I can work for going to college after after barber school, going to college, then from going to college to saving enough money to make my own business, then from going from my own business to getting that remotely so I can do that online if I wanted to and sell like hair products. And then
Teach Hanley.
Huh?
No, I'm just kidding.
So you basically are just building up, because I think that is the best kind of future that I want to have, is of constantly going up ladder.
Yeah.
So
I agree. No, I want to encourage you. I think that's a fantastic plan. And I think you going into that right now is such a good attitude, because too many people are like, this is what I'm going to do and this is how I'm going to do it. But you have a open hand philosophy where you're like, I know things are subject to change. Let's see where it goes. I think you're going to reach, if those things follow through and you do those things, I think things are going to go way faster than what you expect them to. That's the thing that happens, is that people are just like, I'm going to do this, this, and this. They're driven, they're motivated, and then they get there. And then they're like, what do I do now?
yeah.
So I think you going in head first, not only with a plan, but with a loose mentality of this is arbitrarily where I'm going to go. I think that's amazing, because I think things are going to change along the way, but you're going to get there faster than what you expect. So that's cool. Hot take.
Hot take.
I think Little Caesars sucks so bad.
I think you're wrong,
I think I'm trying to dumb this podcast down. This is going to be our last thing that we talk about.
because it's getting too deep. Yep.
Yeah. I think it sucks so bad.
And I think you're wrong.
I would like you to prove it to me. You're not gonna, but try.
So your mindset is Domino's is better.
No,
Really? You've moved on from that.
I do prefer Domino's, but it's
So your favorite place is a local place now, right?
no.
Where is it?
I prefer to make it on my own.
Donatos?
No, I prefer to make it on my own. Are you saying okay? So
What's your favorite pizza place right now? Favorite
pizza
off the top
place?
of your head right now.
Crazy Oven.
Crazy Evan. Is that a local place or is it a branch?
It's a local place.
The reason why you have that mindset is because local businesses, fortunately, are going to be so much cooler and better.
It's not. It's so rundown.
Because the pizza is going to be better because it's like more. It's not like as commercialized and built down as a process kind of deal. Little Caesars, like they have like a step-by-step process where you're basically microwaving, and like you put and it's like a lot easier for a local business. They might have something like an actual oven, where like an actual pizza oven where they stick it in, then they make it like hot or whatever. So the reason why it's better, it's better. I think Little Caesars is still good, but for different reasons.
Okay. So do you want to make this, for your sake, to help with your argument, do you want me to take all local places off let's stick primarily with chains?
Let's take local places off the menu.
Okay. Mm-hmm. It's all chains.
All chains.
Yes, Domino's I think is better.
Okay. I agree. Domino's is pretty good. I don't think that Caesars is trash.
So you're not making the argument that Domino's is not as good?
Domino's is good because you're paying the price for that goodness.
Yes.
Little Caesars is good because somehow, for affordable, they managed to make a delicious pizza. And I don't think we should look past that. I think what's wrong with you is the fact that we have grown up eating that pizza of Little Caesars over and over again because that's a budget-friendly option. That's what you get if you're going to a pizza party at Splash Lagoon or any with your friend, or your friend's having a party or your friend's having a birthday. They get Little Caesars. That's the affordable option. They can get that, a lot of them, for pretty cheap.
I would say it's great because of that reason.
It's great because of that reason. But you have now grown up with the hatred of that is boring pizza because you've grown up on it. So it's like drinking the same coffee every day. You've told me that you kind of hate the fact that it's a perfect cup every single day. Okay? And sometimes you said
I hate myself because I feel like I have so much
No, you've told me you made it like bitter a couple times just so you can get that nasty taste.
Oh yeah, okay, all right, yeah, that's fair.
So let's say same thing about Little Caesars. Whenever I think about pizza, I think of Little Caesars because you just get that pizza and you're like, this tastes like pizza because they're the staple. Because it's just a pizza. There's like nothing more to it. It's just a pizza. If you're looking for just a good pizza, Little Caesars. If you're looking for something more different, defined kind of deal, more flavor pop out, you go to Domino's. Texture.
I still disagree. And
that's the hipster mentality kicking in.
I'm gonna try to approach this from a different way. Little Caesars is the Maxwell house of Little Caesars of pizza. Okay, Maxwell house. Convenient, so convenient. That's why everywhere has it as a coffee because you can buy big giant jugs of it because you can make it really quickly. It's already pre-ground. You don't have to buy extra equipment such as a grinder. And it has a little scoop in it so you don't have to weigh anything. They've narrowed it down the process so it's at its most fundamental form. But unequivocally, Maxwell House is trash. Anywhere you go, you're like, that's coffee, but it's not good.
That's also coming from a biased standpoint as well, because you're a coffee snob.
And so are you.
And so am I.
And so are you. And I manipulated you so that because
so now I hate the taste of Maxwell. So that's why it goes full circle with you. You have Little Caesars and you spit it up. Because you're like, that's the basic taste. That's what I've been tasting forever. Where can we go better with this? And then you found Domino's. It's got nice, crunchy texture. It's got like more variety for like seasoning. Okay? So yeah, it's still great pizza.
I feel like Domino's though is like settling for Starbucks. Like I've tasted the finer things of pizza. I've made my own pizza from scratch. It's so good. I've done local.
You're talking about chains here, Caleb.
I know. That's exactly what I'm saying. I'm saying Maxwell House, I tasted the worst, which is Maxwell House for sure. Okay. I'm going to go a different perspective.
Okay.
If we're putting frozen pizzas into the conversation on the table, literally,
Oh, trash.
then
Garbage.
I will take a Little Caesars pizza
Pizza.
over frozen pizza any day. You win. If those are on the table. I do not think they're the same thing because they're a chain. I don't think there's any worse chain. Can you tell me that there's a worse chain of pizza?
We have I've only had 3 experiences with pizza chains in my lifetime. We got CC's, Little Caesars, and we got Domino's.
We got Hungry Howie's,
Hungry Howie's. That's it.
Papa John's.
Hungry Howie's is trash. I will say that. Hungry Howie's.
Chuck E. Cheese is also trash.
Horrible, but you don't go to Chuck E. Cheese for the freaking
CC's.
pizza.
All right, I'm realizing these things. CC's is the lowest
Garbage.
of low. Thank you for listening to
To Death
watching.
by Vanilla.
We'll see you in the next episode. Sorry, I was so deep.
Here's what I was thinking to do.